There's something different about you, Mr. Lorio. That's from X2, X-Men United. What is different about The Great Expanse by John Bat 426? I have my superhero mask on. No, that's not it. The beard is gone. This is The Great Expanse still by John Bat 426 here on YouTube. It is always a pleasure to record these videos, to edit them, fine-tune them, put my unique spin on them for your viewing pleasure, for your listening pleasure. And if you like the videos that you've seen thus far, hit the like button. Share these videos with other people that you know that like comic book related stuff as much as you do. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications. Which one? All. Not personalized or the one underneath, but all, so the next time a new video is dropped, you'll know about it second. I'll know about it first. I'm Rap Jam. Smooth as a baby's bottom. Now, you've clicked on the thumbnail. You already know what this video is about. This is going to be an MCU news double up. Okay, so it's going to be 2 articles, and then I'll give a summary of the MCU, the current state of affairs. Now, these 2 articles, they kind of jumped off the page at me. Okay, now the first one is comicbook.com, of which we've done articles before. And the author is Spencer Perry. I don't think we've ever done any articles by Spencer Perry. But the headline is, Black Panther director reveals major Marvel villain MCU was banned from using in first film. Now, the director of Black Panther and the director of Wakanda Forever are the same person, Ryan Coogler, who also did Sinners earlier this year, which had no association with the MCU at all. All right, so let's get right to it. With the years behind us and billions of dollars accumulated, it's tough to imagine a time when Black Panther wasn't a ubiquitous cultural touch point. Before filmmaker Ryan Coogler and star Chadwick Boseman got their hands on the Black Panther character and his corner of the Marvel Universe, though, it was far from a proven commodity. Though that means it was ripe with potential, it's tough for Hollywood to see what something can bring to the table before it's had its time in the spotlight. That's a funny wording there. Okay. It's also hard to imagine anyone telling Marvel no, but that happened with the first Panther movie many moons ago. So let me stop right there. So I'm trying to think, what Black Panther villain was banned by the MCU? I'm assuming it's Victor Von Doom of Latveria. Yeah, still rocking it. All right. Let's move on. Coogler, who directed the 2 Black Panther movies, as I already alluded to, Black Panther in 2018 and Black Panther Wakanda Forever in 2022, and developed the animated Eyes of Wakanda spin-off series, which I have not seen, has spent years working on the character and his world with a variety of ideas and stories that were considered but didn't make it to the final cut. I'm hoping we get some info on Wakanda Forever. All right. The original idea for Wakanda Forever had Chadwick Boseman not suddenly passed away in 2020. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Speaking in a new interview with the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, boy, he got some crazy names for these podcasts, Coogler not only confirmed that there had briefly been a time when another Marvel villain was considered for the first movie, none other than Spider-Man antagonist Kraven the Hunter. Interesting. There's more to the story than that, though it's how it would have changed the movie entirely. All right, so it's not Dr. Doom, I'm wrong, okay? So, speaking about the rumor mill that has been created around Kraven's potential involvement in the first Black Panther movie, not Wakanda Forever, so I stand corrected, Coogler was quick to confirm that Michael B. Jordan's role in the film was always as Eric Killmonger, one of 2 villains that were in the movie from before he was even involved. Coogler revealed that when he was hired by Marvel, the outline they had for the movie, inspired by the Christopher Priest comic run on Black Panther, had Claw, who was Black Panther's arch enemy previously, and Eric Killmonger as the antagonist, but there was wiggle room. See me wiggle? Pretend you didn't see that. In the outline of villains were Claw and Killmonger, but they weren't sure. Claw felt slightly modular to them, and obviously it was the great Andy Serkis, so I'm hyped to work with him, Coogler said. But they wanted to base it on the Christopher Priest run of Panther, and his run starts with a fight with Panther and Kraven in the kitchen. That's the first thing. It's Ross, Panther, and Kraven fighting in a kitchen. Coogler, a big Spider-Man fan, and specifically Spider-Man the Animated Series, noted that he had a great affection for Kraven as a potential villain. So he asked, I was like, yo, can I have Craven in this movie? They actually have the word yo here, okay? They were like, we don't think so, but let us check. So they hit Sony, and Sony was like, absolutely not. They came back to me like, yo, we can't do it. So I was like, okay, I'm sorry, let me pause. This is Ryan Coogler. This is definitely, unilaterally, Ryan Coogler with these quotes. Anyway, I guess somebody didn't warn him that these words would be presented in other media. So he was like, yo, so they was like, yeah, so, yeah, I mean, so, okay. But it was like a 2-week process where I was developing some ideas, but I'm glad it didn't work out because Craven would have basically taken that claw spot and I wouldn't have been able to work with Andy. Thankfully, it was doomed from the jump. As Marvel fans know, it's for the best that Craven wasn't allowed to appear in Black Panther, as the role that Andy Serkis' villain played in the film gave the movie some major connectivity to the larger MCU after his initial appearance in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Furthermore, his role was to boost the positioning of Killmonger in the story, as he kills Claw and uses it as a means to enter Wakanda and prove his birthright. So yeah, Andy Serkis' Claw, Ulysses Claw, was somebody to kind of propel Killmonger forward as the primary antagonist in Black Panther. And they made the right choice, okay? But I'll speak on that later, all right? It seems unlikely that the same thing would have been used with Craven in the film, but if it had, it would have taken a major antagonist off the board that the MCU still hasn't used, Craven the Hunter. Sony used Craven the Hunter. MCU did not. Fans naturally know that Craven did get its own feature film from Sony Pictures, the 2024 movie starring Aaron Taylor Johnson that marks the character's only appearance on film. Okay, that's the end of that article. Now, Ulysses Claw is actually not an arms dealer. Ulysses Claw is actually an immortal, basically an immortal villain that is made of pure sound. Now, in Age of Ultron, Ultron does cut off Ulysses Claw's hand because in the comic books, Ulysses Claw, instead of having a right or left hand, I'm not sure one, he has like a sonic emitter. It looks like a megaphone, but he's a really like super powered character. And the comic book accurate Ulysses Claw would have been a handful for Black Panther and the rest of the crew of Wakanda. Okoye, Nakia, Shuri, like they would have their hands full with the Master of Sound. That's what they call Claw, okay? So I agree that version of Claw propelled Killmonger forward, but it's kind of a disservice to the comic accurate Claw because that comic accurate Claw is way more OP than Andy Serkis's. And I think Andy Serkis, he gave Claw that kind of weird, eccentric behavior because the comic accurate Claw is kind of bonkers too. And the comic accurate Claw actually has a lot to do with Secret Wars, the original from the 1980s. That's where Doomsday is leading the Secret Wars. So could they bring Andy Serkis back? I doubt it. But a comic accurate Claw would have been very interesting. But the fact that he wanted to use Craven the Hunter, and it says here that Ryan Coogler was a fan of Spider-Man the animated series. In a lot of ways, that would have been a great movie by itself too. Because, I mean, Craven would have really tested Black Panther. Well, like hunting, like tracking, like I can imagine them having like like not a duel, but sort of like a hunt. You know what I mean? Like Craven the Hunter said that he went to New York to hunt Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So he would have gone to Wakanda to hunt Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa. So that would have been a great movie too. So 3 great movies. One we actually got, okay? Even though I'm not a huge Black Panther fan, okay? But a comic accurate Claw movie would have been amazing, and a Craven the Hunter movie versus Black Panther would have been amazing as well. But I gotta say that with what was available, since Sony said no Craven and they gave us that movie that we got last year, which I was not a big fan of, they obviously did what was right for the MCU, and they did what was right for them as a studio. Okay, so I do like hearing what a director's original vision for a movie is, though. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, Craven and Killmonger, that would have been a serious problem for Black Panther. Black Panther would have had to have gone outside of Wakanda to get help to fight both of them. Or it would have diminished Killmonger as a character because Craven is the more popular character. So using Claw probably was best to push Killmonger forward, and Killmonger is, in a lot of people's minds, the best MCU villain we've gotten other than Thanos. The next article entails my favorite superhero of all time, Spider-Man. Okay, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Okay, and as you can kind of glean from my response, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is not my favorite Spider-Man. I don't hate Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but I do not like his movies. I've seen them once and that's it. I'm talking about Homecoming, once, done. Far From Home, once, done. No Way Home, once, done. I don't even want to see those again. Or maybe I'll go back and watch a scene or two, especially Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, who was great in the movie, but not even him and Alfred Molina or Jamie Foxx, the spectacular Jamie Foxx, could save the first half of No Way Home. And I've always maintained No Way Home is a tale of two films. The first half, which is bleh, and the second half, which is spectacular. Because of the nostalgia and, introducing and incorporating Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man into the MCU. So for the next article, Superhero Hype is the website. That rhymed, but not quite. Bars. The headline says Spider-Man 5 report is good and bad news for 2 MCU sequels. Now, Spider-Man 5 report? Spider-Man 4 Brand New Day is still filming. So we're kind of getting a sneak peek into the future of the Spider-Man franchise under the MCU and Sony. So this one definitely jumped off the screen. All right. And the author is Devanshi Basu. I definitely have never done articles by that person before because I would have recognized that name because that's a very unique name. Sounds like a superhero name, Devanshi Basu. So, Marvel Studios' long-term plans for Spider-Man and Shang-Chi appear to be intersecting in unexpected ways. I did not know the article was going this way. A new report offers good news for Spider-Man 5 while also raising questions about the future of another long-awaited MCU sequel, so maybe that's going to put the kibosh on Shang-Chi too. Destin Daniel Cretton, rumored to be terrible English here. I'll say it in an English way in which you can understand. Destin Daniel Cretton, rumored to be the director of Spider-Man 5 as well. He just said rumored to be direct. According to Entertainment Scooper, My Time to Shine Hello, these names. Destin Daniel Cretton is expected to return to direct Spider-Man 5. The Scooper wrote on X, the plan is for DDC, the director, Destin Daniel Cretton, to also direct Spider-Man 5. Not sure what it means for Shang-Chi too, so there's the confirmation right there. The report represents good news for Spider-Man as Marvel appears keen to retain Cretton following his work on the franchise. So maybe long-time Shang-Chi fans have been waiting a sequel. Maybe we won't get it with DDC. Maybe we'll get it with somebody else. All right. However, this development may complicate the future of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings sequel. Cretton's involvement with Spider-Man 5 could limit his availability to return behind the camera, especially as nearly 5 years have passed since the original film's 2021 release, Shang-Chi's original release. While Cretton directing Spider-Man 5 could be disappointing for fans hoping he would helm Shang-Chi 2, it does not necessarily signal further delays for the sequel after Avengers Secret Wars. Marvel Studios could bring in a new or familiar filmmaker to take over the Shang-Chi franchise if scheduling conflicts persist. Star Simu Liu recently addressed this possibility during a Q&A session on X ahead of his series, The Copenhagen Test. That has nothing to do with the MCU, by the way. When asked about potential directors if Cretton does not return, Liu suggested Lee Isaac Chung, the directing duo Daniels and Chloe Zhao, as strong candidates. And Chloe Zhao did a tremendous job with the cinematography, with the tone, with the cinema of Eternals, even though I gave Eternals a very low grade because I did not like that movie. All right. But as far as the technical aspects of the movie, it's a fantastic movie, technically. So here's the tweet. Okay. So despite that optimism, uncertainty still surrounds Shang-Chi 2. The sequel was announced 4 years ago, but has seen no recent updates and is largely absent from Marvel's theatrical release slate for 2026. That might not be good news. There might not be a Shang-Chi 2. Liu is confirmed to reprise his role in Avengers Doomsday, keeping the character active within the MCU. Okay, so we are still getting him. Directed by Cretton from a script by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers, Spider-Man Brand New Day stars Tom Holland alongside Zendaya, Mark Ruffalo, and Jon Bernthal, among others. The film is going to be released in theaters on July 31st, 2026. And Devontae Basu is a female. There's a picture of her right here, okay? Now, Spider-Man 5. We jumped ahead of Spider-Man 4, Brand New Day. So, I'm not sure if DDC directing it will make me anticipate it more or less, because I feel like Shang-Chi was a pretty good movie. A little messy because they threw a whole bunch of stuff into the Shang-Chi lore. Now, Shang-Chi is the master of Kung Fu in the comic books. But in this one, there was a lot of like anime references, a lot of mystical characters, and I'm not sure why they used the 10 rings for Shang-Chi instead of for the comic accurate Mandarin. Unless they're saying that Shang-Chi's father was supposed to be the comic accurate Mandarin without being called the Mandarin. And there weren't 10 rings, there were like 10 bracelets or whatever. So I'm not sure how I feel about that either. But I like Shang-Chi, it was okay. But for some reason, the awesome Ben Kingsley, the actor, reprised his role as Trevor Slattery, one of the biggest pins in the balloon of any MCU movie. When Iron Man 3 dropped and Trevor Slattery was revealed to be what's the word I'm looking for? A hoax, revealed to be like a stand-in for the real Mandarin, you could feel the air deflate in the theater. I saw this in the theater, Iron Man 3. And the way they built up his menace, the Mandarin, it was almost disgraceful, the fact that he turned out to be a soccer fan and an actor. So for them to reprise his role in Shang-Chi, I didn't think that was great. Like, how did he get to that mystic village as an actor? Like, why would he be bid entry there? And he's going to reprise his role in Wonder Man, starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who did Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who we know as Black Manta, and he also played Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen series on HBO. So this article, I don't think I was looking forward to a Shang-Chi sequel as much as this article is saying that it's pertinent to the future of the MCU. So it's good that we're getting a Spider-Man 5. And judging from the cast, it says Zendaya, so MJ is returning. Michelle Jones. I mean, the character is good, but the fact that they're making her Mary Jane, come on, stop that. Mark Ruffalo, so the Hulk's going to be in it, and Jon Bernthal's Punisher. And I also believe Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is going to be in it as well. So it sounds like there's a lot of characters. It sounds like it's going to be more of an ensemble movie, which I don't know how I feel about that. But they could do something great with that. And the fact that they're filming it on location, I think in either Ireland or Scotland. Sorry, it's a lot of noises. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 4. This could be the best one. This could be the Tom Holland Spider-Man helmed movie that I watched twice. Okay, because as I said, the first three were one and done for me. So, what do you think of DDC? Does Daniel Cretton possibly returning to direct Spider-Man 5 and not returning for Shang-Chi 2? How much were you looking forward to Shang-Chi 2, the sequel to the first one, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings? Leave a comment below, leave a dissertation if necessary. In other words, be as wordy as you need to be. Talk to me in the comment section. And where is that comment section? Thank you, Mr. Brent. Warnham Hall's finest, The Office UK, played by the immortal Ricky Gervais. Do your part, now do my part, so I can heal speedily. Come on, healing factor, kick in. And The Great Expanse by John Babb 426 can and will expand. It's in the name.